Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Happy Friday. What's going on? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, boys and girls? Welcome to another episode of SR Daily, episode 423. Episode 423, closer and closer and closer to episode 500. Slick ones, what's the deal? What's the deal? Uncut, what's going on? What's going on? Good day, my brother, good day. Peace and love. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Is a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. It's a little rainy, a little gloomy outside, but we are alive. And as long as we are alive, we are here, right? We're here with opportunity to live, to be great, to accomplish our dreams, to make an impact, to experience joy, to experience love, to make love, to laugh, to travel, to eat good food, man, to enjoy all the other beauties and pleasures of life. But life is not just about pleasure. Life is about building. Life is about creating. Life is about just experiencing all of it. So we also got a chance to experience the downtimes and the sadness when we doing our live. Let's set that up, my brother. Let's set that up. And let's do the live on the Sugar Ray Show. We have not launched yet. We need to launch, and you could be the first interview for the Sugar Ray Show. We'll do a live, 60 minutes, maybe longer, and we'll chop it up about all of the things, the art, the spirituality that fuse the art, the all of the stuff, my brother, the food and all of that good stuff. Appreciate you. I know you got a busy day, man. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for tuning in. Mona Love, baby girl, what's the deal? Peace and love. Peace and love. Great rising. Happy Friday. It is August. I was writing the notes and I was about to write July 31st. I'm like, whoa, I wrote that yesterday. It's August 1st. Happy August. Happy Black August, right? Happy Black August. Shout out to the folks, all the folks, them who strive, who fight for our freedom, our liberation, and all of that good stuff, man. We're about to get the show started. We're going to share this. Hit the share button. Share this live with 5 to 10 of your friends who may be interested in tuning in. Don't keep the good content to yourself. Hit that share button. Spread the love. Spread the love. Let another person know. All right? Tell a friend and tell a friend. Share with 5 to 10 of your peoples who may be alive and interested in tuning in, right? No, you can't share it with somebody whose account ain't active. They gone. If they gone, they gone. Don't send it to them. Don't send it to the folks who ain't here no more. Send it to the people who are breathing, who are alive, who are well, right? Even if they're not so well, they could be not feeling too great, laid up in the bed in the hospital. Send them the content. This might help them live longer. They might see something, hear something that's like, you know what? I could do it. They may laugh. They may laugh at me, right? Like, I don't care, but send it to whoever. Send it to whoever is alive. Got breath in their body, man. You never know. You never know. They might tune in. They might surprise you. Tune in on a random Friday, right? It's rainy outside, man. People chilling. People are in the crib, in the bed, doing the things that they like to do, the things that they gotta do, and all of that good stuff. But we're gonna get the show started right about now. Once again, I am your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Ray Marson. You are tuned into SR Daily, episode 423. SR Daily is where personality meets enlightenment. We're here Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Instagram Live. And we are going to get the show started right about now. We're gonna start with our first segment. Today's first segment is the quote of the day. Is the quote I've been hearing for years now. Everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. Everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. I think the first time I heard this was from brother David Goggins. Black man in the service, in the Marines, military. And the quote, it rung true for me because so David Goggins is personal development space, right? I've also heard it from Will Smith quoted, right? From folks in the Army. And it's about everybody wants something. Everybody claims they want something, right? People, I want this, or I want that. I want whatever it is, whether it's, a better body, whether it's just better health, whether it's they want to travel somewhere, they want to meet this type of person, they want to become this type of person, they want to have this type of bank account, right? Everybody wants something, but not many people are willing to put the work in it takes to get the thing that they say they want. Not many people are willing to put the work in. The work that it takes to get what they say they want. If it's a better body, you got to probably eat less, right? You got to eat better and eat less and work out. You got to do 2, 3 different things to get the body that you want, right? To get the health that you want. You might got to do 4 or 5 different things. You might got to turn off the news. You might got to sacrifice time with friends and family for your practice, for you, right? Like it's okay, like, yes, balance, right? And sometimes it's not about balance. Sometimes it's about doing what the freak you got to do for you, right? Like this is, what do you want? That's ultimately what it comes down to. What do you want? And are you willing to do what it takes to get it? If you want to be really great, if you want to be like a legend, you're gonna have to sacrifice some of that family time, some of that friend time, some of that movie time. You got to sacrifice that and work on your body, on your mind, on your goals. You're gonna have to write. You're gonna have to listen. You're gonna have to study. You're gonna have to go out and talk to people, right? Maybe when you don't want to talk to people, right? Maybe people you don't want to talk to, right? Like sometimes you might have to do some of those things. But how bad do you want it? I never forget, and it's crazy because I haven't heard it. So 2010, I think 2010. I met Michael Sledge. Michael Sledge, incredible black man from Harlem, started him and his wife Deborah Sledge started the Sledge Group mentoring group. And they had a real men mentoring group we used to do on Wednesdays at Toro College. From like, well, they've been doing it since before I met them, right? They've been doing it, I think, since the early 2000s or the 90s. I think even late 90s. I think they had like 20 something years in when I got involved, right? When I met them. But I was involved from like 2010 to like 2002, really to like 2020. Off and on, I would go a couple years every Wednesday, right? Whenever we was in session, and then I might miss some months. But it was in person until COVID, and then it became online. And I haven't joined online yet. Which I need to. I need to hit up Sledge and see when the session starts if they're not in session already. But I used to ask a question. I used to write on the board every so often. What do you want? How bad do you want it? And what are you doing and or willing to do to get it? And that's something that is, as I was right, I was just a few years removed from prison and being in the streets, and I'm changing my mindset, and so my life is changing, and I'm just thinking differently, and I'm like, yo, there's some things I want, there's some things I'm saying I want, there's some things I say I want, but what am I doing to get it? It's literally asking myself. I say I want better health. I don't want to go back to jail, right? But I'm still in the streets, right? What do I want? I want to be free. How bad do I want it? Because what am I doing to get it? Like I'm still dipping and dabbing. I'm still messing around. I'm still right. So, and this is not now. This is obviously long time ago, right? But yeah, like asking myself that question as I'm figuring out who I am, what I want, where I'm going, and all of that stuff. And so I used to ask the group, right? Group of youth and elders, what do you want? How bad do you want it? And what are you doing or willing to do to get it? People want these things. How bad do they want it? That's it right there. That's how you determine whether or not somebody's willing to put the work in. And mind you, putting the work in, it's not linear, right? And it doesn't just happen overnight, right? So you get the idea, you get the desire, and then you maybe falter back and forth a little bit, teeter-totter, and then eventually, boom. That's my story, right? I want something really bad. I'm teeter-tottering. I'm And then at some point, I said, all right, I'm cutting this out of my diet, or I'm cutting it out of my diet, or I'm getting on fasting. Okay, I'm getting all right now. Fasting, I was fasting and eating, I guess pretty good for a while, but not really exercising. So right now, let me institute exercising consistently. So slowly but surely, you get on the roll, right? Like butter, right? Like it's okay. But what do you want? You gotta have an idea, and you gotta have some determination, and you gotta have some sacrifice. You gotta be willing to sacrifice and commit. Both. You gotta commit to some things, some new ways, some new habits, and you gotta let go of some old things, some old parts of yourself, some old relationships, things that you were doing with your time, right? I know, right? But I know for me, like, and it's okay because it's not just me, right? It's everybody. But there's a point when it's excessive and it's you're making an excuse and you need to do something else about the shit. What I'm about to talk about is deep sadness, or what folks call depression. So I haven't personally been depressed in a while. I've been near depression, right? Lately, well, not even lately, but right in recent years, I haven't been depressed. Like the depression, I know what that feels like, and I know I haven't neglected my shower. I haven't neglected time with people. I haven't done all of those things. Neglected eating because of my state. I just been in a really sad state. The last couple of years, for the most part, because of what's been going on in my personal life, right? But we spend hours and hours watching movies and TV and scrolling, binge watching and binge scrolling, and we get nothing done. And so I think this is where I mentioned balance and the fine line between like Okay, give time for yourself. You're emotionally processing, right? Like you got some real stuff going on in your life, in your mind, in your heart, and like you want to distract yourself. And then there's you just don't want to do nothing in life. You got no goals, and this is what you settle for, right? Two different things, I think. Could be the same thing, right? And at different times they overlap. But yeah, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. What do you want? What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your life? And what are you doing to get it? Or how bad do you want it? Because that's going to determine what you do to get it, right? And I used to ask, what do I want? I want to be free. I want to be free, and I want to be one of the greatest humans to ever live. I want my community to be free, and I want to be wealthy. How bad do I want it? Really bad. What am I willing to do? What am I doing or willing to do to get it? All right, I'm changing diet. Okay, I'm doing this. Okay, I'm learning. I'm learning about wealth, and I'm learning about the people who were great before me, and I'm learning about these things, and I'm applying some of them, and I'm learning, and I'm in the process. And so, what am I willing to do to get it? Everything. I'm willing to let go of every part of myself that doesn't serve the me that I'm walking into, the me that I'm creating, the me that I'm dreaming of, right? Like I'm willing to let go of every single part of myself that hinders me, right? In due time, right? Like I mean, I'm not willing to let it go now. I'm not saying I need more time for certain things. It's just certain things take more time. And some will say that's an excuse because if you want it bad enough, you're willing to drop it at the drop of a dime. Nah, it's over. I don't want this no more. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not doing this. And I was able to do that for some things a little more difficult, right? But that's life. That's the process. Yo, John Johnson, what's going on? What's going on? Peace and love, my brother. Peace and love. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Sefu Sankofa, peace and love, my brother. Peace and love. Happy Fortune and Freedom Friday. Mona, love. Welcome to Black August. Yes, sir. Political prisoners are an example of immense sacrifice. Yes, 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 they are. Yes, they are. Political prisoners are an example of immense sacrifice, 100%. I'm going to move right along to our second segment of the day. Today's second segment, always our need to know news. Today's news is our third annual community potluck today, 6:30 to 9 p.m. Today, 6:30 until 9 p.m. In Long Island City, 44th Drive, Vernon Boulevard. This is an efforts, Western Queens Community Land Trust, LIC Coalition, in efforts to secure the massive 600,000 square foot underutilized DOE building here at LIC. We want to keep public land in the hands of the public and use it for public good. That's the message. That's the fight. That's the motto. That's the same freaking thing. We see what's happening to our public land, not just here in New York City, but really all around the country. Private developers, city government is selling their cities out to private developers in the name of profit and the allure of progress. But we see what that means is just gentrification, colonialism by another name. We can't be scared to call it what it is. As the elders used to say, tell the truth and shame the devil. We cannot be afraid to tell the truth. This is colonialism by another name. It is gentrification. It is whitewashing. It is ethnic cleansing. It is all of that stuff, right? In the name of development, in the name of more housing. We see, right? Like I told the reporter a year ago and maybe a year ago, and she was freaking staggered because she went and read it. She did the research and she hit me like, yo, that's crazy. I did not know that. So they say that housing, they're building more housing, right? They say this in New York City. They say it all over the country. They're building more housing because there's people who are homeless, right? They want to solve the housing crisis. So you need to build more housing, right? That was Eric Adams' City of Yes plan. What do you do with is not enough housing? You just build more. And you would think that, okay, well, that makes sense. There's people homeless, build more apartments, build more housing, build more affordable living spaces, and that'll solve the homeless issue. However, we see that in New York City, well, really in the country, but in New York City specifically, I forgot the exact numbers, but in 5 years or in 10 years, right? I think I did 10-year thing. In 10 years, the amount of housing that has gone up has been astronomical. At the same time, the amount of homeless people has also grown, right? How is that? Like, how is that? How is it that you build more housing supposedly to solve the housing crisis, but more people become homeless? I'm gonna tell you how, because you're building housing that nobody could fucking afford. That's how. You are building housing. Number one, you are raising rents in certain neighborhoods, in certain communities. You're changing, right? Gentrification and change the demographic, right? That thus changes the the AMI or the amount of income that people are making in a certain neighborhood, which then raises the prices of the rents, of the gas, of all of the stuff, of all of the services that humans need, that people need to exist, right? All of that goes up because they're like, well, people making more money live here, we can charge them more. But that might be a small percentage. That may be because the way AMI works in New York, so AMI, average median income, right? What's the average median income of people in New York City? There's a certain number. However, in that is also including Westchester, I think, like a few other counties that's outside of New York City, right? Where some billionaires live, right? And billionaires live in New York City too, right? More billionaires in New York City than the rest of the world combined. It's gonna seem like the people of the city as a whole make more money because there's a small percentage, let's say it's 20% of people making freaking $500,000 or more. And then obviously there's a smaller percentage that makes even astronomically more. But the great majority of people, 80% of the people are making less than 100 fucking K. And I would say 70% of that is making less than 60, 70K, right? Like the numbers is insane. And so the rent's going up. People are being priced out, right? People can no longer afford to rent where they once was able to afford to rent. And so where do they go? Some are going to the shelters. Some are leaving the city. Some who have family or friends and may have a little money saved up, they're able to leave. They're able to go south or go west or something like that. But a lot of people, whole families here, whole family priced out, right? Or the people they live with and are close to. And so now people are in shelters. It's only so many beds there. So now people are sleeping on the streets. People are sleeping on the streets with their whole families. I've seen it here in New York City. Man, woman, children, I've seen sleeping on the streets. In Queensbridge, on the benches. I've seen it in the city, side of the buildings. I've seen it. I've seen it walking through Queensbridge a couple years ago, leaving late night. I think I was leaving my mom's crib. I fell asleep at my mom's crib, woke up, walking towards the bus, right? Trying to catch a bus, ended up having to call the Uber. I'm like, ain't no buses coming, right? It's like 1 something, 2 in the morning, no buses coming. I was hopeful, all right? But walking, people sleeping on the bench on 12th Street. Whole family sleeping on the bench. Like, insane. Sleeping, some were even sleeping on the playground, on the apparatus in the playground. They were sleeping. Like, yo, these people are homeless. They have no homes, right? So our thing as a land trust, right? Western Queens Community Land Trust, we're not necessarily, this org is not necessarily currently advocating for housing. We just want affordable space, and we want to use this building as a means to make some things happen. We want to do a rooftop farm, right? First of its kind, right, in this area, right? We had Brooklyn Grange, but Brooklyn Grange wasn't really run by people from Queens, right? And it wasn't for people in Queens, and it wasn't a community-based thing. It was a for-profit business, right? Brooklyn Grange Farm was dope. We did the irrigation when I was in farm school. But we want to do something different, right? Rooftop farm with also a kitchen on the bottom, right? First floor. Also with affordable storage space for food vendors, right? We want to create deeply affordable rental space, studio space for artists and manufacturers. We want to create spaces for people to bring their children, right? Like community rooms and community groups and like some type of educational component, right? Like we got so much that we want to do for the neighborhood. And I personally know, not just think, but I know that we secure this space. Not only would it be monumental in terms of impact for people in Long Island City, for young people specifically in Queensbridge, right? Not only would it be big for people in New York City, but this would set a precedent for the rest of the country of what's possible. And I guarantee you, we get this space, right? And then we get we build, right? We create the resources needed specifically for the young people in Queensbridge to create the music, right? We're going to do music studios, we're going to do the TV studio, right? We have all of that. Guarantee the dynamic of young people in the streets, going to prison, engaging in violence and selling drugs and all that stuff in Queensbridge, it changes almost overnight. It changes almost overnight because most people want to do something, but there's what they want to do, there's not many outlets for, or they don't know where the outlets are, right? And then it's just the people that's running it, the people that's operating, they're like, you want me in your program simply for numbers. You want me in your program simply for aesthetic, right? You don't really care about me. You just want to say that you did something. You want to say that you helped these people. We know that intuitively. That was me. I was like, right? And mind you, there wasn't even many in the mid-90s it was hardly nothing, right? Mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, wasn't much in the neighborhood for people like me that was into the art, specifically film, TV production, right? It wasn't much in the neighborhood. So like when those from other neighborhoods, I would be like, I know that you don't really, it's not about me, right? And like everybody wants to feel like it's about them. They're important, and they should. That's not a bad thing to want to feel like, yo, I matter, not just the program, not just the services, but actually me as a human. And that would be the difference between, or that would be what separates those of us who will work in this space, specifically the music and film space. That would be me. I'll get a couple of other folks from Queensbridge, right, and other, surrounding neighborhood, probably Ravenswood, to come involved and like, yo, let's build this thing. Let's build this thing, right? We got the money, we got the resources, we got the space. Let's get our young people off the streets. Let's get our young people into the arts. Let's get our young people inside, into themselves. Let's create the films. Let's make the soundtracks for the films, right? Then let's make the fashion for the people in the films. Let's make the music videos, right? Let's make the commercials. Let's make the TV shows. Let's do all of the things, right? Young people are watching TV. They're watching movies. They're watching videos. They want to be involved. They want to do that. Not just on camera. They want to be behind the camera. They want to. And you can see it because they're making freaking music in their crib, right? In their closet. They're turning their closets, they're turning their rooms into studios. And they're freaking they're doing these skits and this content with their phones outside. They want to do it. I promise you they do. I promise you they do. It's just, where do we do it? Where do we do it? What space do we have? So that's what we're fighting for. So today, 6:30 to 9 o'clock, 44th Drive, Vernon Boulevard. Come out. This is also the same corner. I did my hunger strike. I slept there for 2 weeks in 2023 from February 29th to February 28th, 29th. I think that was a leap year, to March 14th. 14 days outside in the cold, in the rain, in the snow, for a cause. We clearly haven't secured the building yet. The mayor has never came to speak to us, but we have made progress because now people around the city are talking about land trust more than ever before. There was land trust before, right? But it wasn't, as far as what I see, it wasn't as popular. It wasn't a popular thing 5, 6, 7 years ago, but now it's become a little more popular, right? But yeah, that's our news of the day. Please come out. It's extremely important. We got some food. Bring some food. It is a potluck. You can bring something. Bring some food. Bring some snacks. Bring some beverages. Bring something. I'm vegan, so I'll only bring vegan stuff, and there's a few vegan things for me. If you're a vegan, bring some vegan stuff. But as a whole, the org is not a vegan. They do not operate, right, follow a vegan protocol like I do. So there'll be regular food for folks as well. So you eat regular food, come out. There's gonna be something there for you. Come learn. Come chat with us. It's gonna be some music. It's gonna be some fun. Gonna have good times. Gonna have discussion. And yeah, right. Showing what, if we could do this outside the building, right? It's our 3rd year now. We could do it inside the building, right? Inside the building. Give us the freaking building. And we're not asking DOE to leave. We saying let's share the space. And we got it down to almost this freaking square inch of what will be used. Worked with some architects and designers, and to like, yo, we got our shit together. The city need to get their shit together, but we got to keep putting pressure on them. We got to make them get their shit together because clearly they're following the ordinance of the mayor, right? And he just wants real estate, right? He's in the pockets of the developers. He's a developer himself, landlord. We know that, right? But let's move right along. Yo. Father Shah 84, what's the deal, my brother? Peace and love. S. Grand Rising, peace and love, my brother. Peace and love. Thanks for tuning in. Good to have you here. Let's move along to our 3rd segment of the day. Today's 3rd segment, our tip of the day. This is a tip for grown folks out there. Listen, wake up and get right, and even if it's just a tip. Meaning, wake up, and if you got a partner, make sweet love. And if you ain't got time for that, then you could bone. You could bone. People be boning, whichever you prefer and or have time for. I'm dead ass though, right? I'm dead serious. And this is inspired. This is from our time the other day. Mona and I chatting with folks at Columbus Circle about our America's Favorite Couple competition. One of the segments that Mona came up with for the talk, right? For the, I guess, the outreach, for the whatever it was, whatever you call that, right? The segment. It was a this or that, right? She said she want to do a this or that segment. And one of the this or that questions was if folks prefer wake up sex or late night loving. It's like, do you prefer wake up sex or late night loving? We was asking folks that on the streets randomly, do you prefer wake up sex or late night loving? And the overwhelming majority of folks emphatically stated that they prefer wake up. So like, yeah, wake up. Like, yeah, on that wake up. Yeah, wake up. Yeah, so that was dope. So yeah, right. That's a tip, man. Like, that's a tip. That's a tip, literally, no pun intended. All right, wake up and get right, because it's something Definitely about love, about intercourse in the morning when you wake up, right? Does something for your body, does something for your energy, does something for your mood, picks you up, carries you through the day, right? You're thinking about your partner, you remembering that feeling, you remembering the taste, the smell, whatever it is, however much you was engaged, you remember that, and that carries, right? And this is it's important. It's important to do those things. It's important to wake up and get right, right? Wake up and get right, and that doesn't mean don't exercise. It doesn't mean don't do all of that stuff. And again, if you have a partner and you are living with your partner or y'all together, right, in the mornings, right, you sleep together, wake up together, however many times a week or whatever, make it a thing to um have sex in the morning, right? Don't be afraid. I know Sefu be like, this is PG-13. Sefu, I don't think I think that's pretty PG-13ish, right? Maybe not, maybe 18 and up, right? The space belongs to the people. Absolutely, it does. It does, and we got to keep it that way. We got to keep public land in the hands for public good. Yo, John, nice way to start the day. John Johnson said, nice way to start the day. Absolutely, start the day with love. Start the day with moving your body, moving your hips in and out, round and round, side to side. All of the good stuff, or however you like to do it. People got different ways, man. You'll be surprised. There's some freaks out there. Right, there's some freaks out there. They got swings in their bedroom. They got poles. They got all type of things. Right, grown folk things. I'm like, whoa, I don't know nothing about that right there. Travel with bags, and it's like, oh, you got a bag? I'm like, what's in that bag? You never know until you know. You heard? But let's move right along, guys, to our fourth and final segment of the day. Before we get out of here, our build of the day is the success of hip hop predicated on being anti-black. I want to build on that for a few minutes. Is the success of hip hop predicated on being anti-black? I listened to a clip yesterday from the late great brother Malcolm Jamal Warner. May his soul continue to rest peacefully and speak and guide us and reveal the light that he was on this planet. But yeah, this clip, he was talking about the hip hop that gets played is rooted in disrespect to black people, from misogyny to killing to just pure mayhem, the drug dealing and all of the stuff. He said the success of hip hop is predicated on anti-blackness. Clearly, that's not all the hip hop that's out there that exists. A lot of conscious hip hop, a lot of hip hop that has nothing to do with anti-blackness. But there is the hip hop that gets played, the hip hop that gets on the radio, the hip hop that gets the majority of spins. It's anti-black. Killing each other, fucking the B's and the H's, right? And drug dealing and all of this stuff is 100% anti-black. 100% anti-black, 100% anti-black. And so who's at fault? This is always a great question and discussion. Is it the power structure who are doing what they're supposed to do, right? Which is fuck us, right? They don't care about us, right? We understand that. Those who dominate the industry, specifically we talk about hip hop, right? They don't give a fuck about black people at all. They would probably rather we not exist if we wasn't able to make money for them in this way, right? Is it the power structure? Or is it the artists who go with it? And the artists who go with it are conditioned, right? Some of them impoverished, right? Impoverished, and they're looking for a way out, and this way is presented to them, and maybe they're living a life, and they just got to exacerbate it or promote it or put it out there. Or maybe they come up with something. Maybe it's not their real life, and they're just fronting, right? They're fabricating a story, right? They're playing a role, right? People get mad at artists, hip hop artists, who play a role, and somebody mentioned it, but they don't get mad at the actor who plays a role. The actor who plays the killer is never really seen as the killer. He's an actor who's playing the killer. But in hip hop, because I don't know, I've been not actively thinking about it, but it's something that I've thought about recently. So then why is the music artist who grew up and went to college and had two parents now he takes on a role as a thug, as a hoodlum who ain't have nothing? Why do we automatically believe him? I think because we just hear the lyrics and you think that that's a person's. Right. And I think it also may go back to some degree, Nina Simone, who said an artist's job is to reflect the signs of the times. Right. But is that the same for acting? People are always acting, and it's not always reflecting the signs of the time. All right. So I don't know. So what do you guys think? Is the success of hip hop predicated on being anti-black? And if so, who's at fault? Power structure, right? Motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about us, or the artists who are conditioned, bamboozled, right? Or some just don't give a fuck about their people, right? Talk to me real quick, guys. We got a quick minute. Drop it in the chat. Drop what you think in the chat. Say, fool, what you think, my brother? John Johnson, what you think, my brother? Let me know if you got a second. Drop it in the chat. Is the success of hip-hop predicated on being anti-black? And if so, who is that for? The power structure, heads of the labels, who only care about money, profit over people, or the artists who get sold the dream, who buy into it, and who propagate the madness? What's going on? Talk to me. About to get out of here. Yo, the real Ruby, peace and love. What's going on? But guys, that's our show for the day. That is our show. Nobody's dropping it in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Happy Friday. Make sure you go out there and enjoy this day. If you are in Queens, if you are in New York City and you are able to get to Queens at 6:30, between 6:30 and 9, we'll be outside. The rain it's rain a little bit throughout the day, but it's going to be stopped by then. We got watermelon. I'll have some watermelon. Shout out Black Sea Brothers for sponsoring watermelons for both yesterday's Juice and Play with Connected Chef and today's potluck with Western Queens Community Land Trust. Shout out to Black-owned watermelon company, Uptown Harlem. Go get you some watermelon, 139th and Lenox, right on the corner, 24/7. Literally, you go there at 3 in the morning in the rain, truck is there, somebody's there. You go there at 8 in the morning in the sunshine, somebody's there. 24 hours, 7 days a week. The brother keeps reminding me when I'm telling him, yo, is this time good? He like, all day, every day. We'll go get some watermelon. Come out today, potluck, come learn, come talk, come engage, come contribute, come be part of what we're building. We're building something massive here in Western Queens, here in Long Island City. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for rocking with me this week. This is the end of week 85 weeks in the books. I am your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Moss, episode 423 of SRDaily. Look forward to seeing you guys next week, same time, same place, Monday morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Instagram Live. Remember, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up. The power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Sefu said, I think the corporations package and market our negativity. Absolutely. John Johnson said, your energy is infectious. I'm going to run around the block. Needed a shot in the arm. You doing, my brother. Appreciate you. Peace and love, guys. Have a great Friday and a beautiful weekend.